Everybody, happy Wellness Wednesday. Master trainer and wellness enthusiast Kiona Leah back with you guys again. And this week we are doing a booty camp. So of course we cannot do a proper Healthy by Kiona booty camp without talking about how to win the battle of the bumps against our backside. Of course, my biggest weapon in this arsenal of battle of the bumps is the T-Tapp Celluliate removal system. Now, for many of you, you know that the T-Tapp website is no longer available and these products can no longer be found. But there are plenty of places to get substitute products, and I'm going to link all of those below, or at least some of those below, for you guys to be able to get. The biggest question, of course, is that premium blended alfalfa. So we'll start there really quickly for those that know about the premium blended alfalfa from T-Tapp. What made this alfalfa so unbelievably special was the fact that it was cold pressed extracted. It was grown, of course, fully non-GMO, fully organic. It was watered with high mineral concentrate water, and it was processed cold, which means once it was harvested, it was pressed until all the juice was out of it. It was cold pressed. It was not heated, which is a major difference between a lot of commercial alfalfa that you will find and the stuff that we got from T-Tapp. Then it was actually cold transported as well, which meant the trucks that transported it from the factory down to the T-Tapp office were air conditioned. So even in hot weather, there was no chance of it getting above about 180 degrees, which would start killing the enzymes in the alfalfa and start breaking down the proteins. Biggest piece of this arsenal were twofold. Number one, protein. Alfalfa is a plant protein, and you need protein to help rebuild the skin and all of the cells, including your muscles, but the skin especially really needs that. In addition, the high mineral concentration in alfalfa provided a lot of nutrition for the skin to rebuild collagen and elastin. Collagen was built a lot from those proteins, elastin from the minerals, and the combination of those two. That was the major thing. Shaklee has the nicest that most people have consistently found, but there have been a couple other links out there that we've found for some good premium blended alfalfa. You can always do what I like to do, which is go into the wellness store and say, do you know how this alfalfa was made? And see if they can answer your question. Most of the time they don't know, but what you're looking for is cold pressed extracted. The second component that was in that system was the Fibertox. This was a pretty basic fiber supplement. The primary ingredient was psyllium husk, but it did have some marshmallow root extract in it, and it did have a little bit of senna as well. Primarily it was fiber, but it had a couple of very mild laxatives in it as well. The whole idea behind that Fibertox was, as you start using the powerhouse, which is the brush, which we'll talk about in a minute, as you started using this, you were going to detox the body at a faster rate than you're used to. We want to make sure things flush out of the body and move out of the GI tract so they don't sit and cause nausea and other issues. That was the major purpose of that Fibertox. A good fiber supplement will work. You got to make sure it doesn't upset the gut, which was always a struggle for yours truly. So if you can't do a fiber supplement, you want to increase your water intake by about 32 ounces a day. I know that's a lot, but that will help flush out that system just as well as using one of those supplements would do. That was the reason why Teresa did it, because she really wanted people to drink 32 extra ounces of water a day. However, she was realistic with the fact that people were not going to do that, so she included a supplement to help things move more easily. Find the right balance for you. Maybe you find a less strong supplement, or you take a half dosage of an additional fiber and you drink 16 ounces of water. That's only 2 glasses. You can really see how you can sort of balance when you understand what the components were for. Another thing you can do is you can increase your magnesium intake just a bit. That will act as a natural laxative to the body. It's also going to provide you some of that mineral content, and that can make a major difference. I highly recommend take that right before bed. Now, let's talk about the brush. I overbought these brushes, so I actually still have an original T-Tapp brush. I have 2 more in my collection that haven't been used yet that I'm hoarding. But what you're looking for, these are psyllium fiber. It is a natural fiber. Very, very, very important. Not a synthetic fiber. These are cut flush, so they have blunt ends. So as we do the brushing itself, we're not scratching the skin. We want to rough it up and we want to move the lymph, but we don't want to put micro scratches in our skin, which is what can happen with a synthetic fiber. So that's the primary thing you're looking for, is you're looking for that. You want a stiffer fiber if you can get it. I'm going to bring it a little closer just so you can see that the fiber thickness is actually pretty thick on these fibers. They're not thin. Those are our face brushes, which you can also find. That makes a major, major, major difference. You want to look for a thicker, stiffer fiber. Not as stiff as a horsehair brush, not as stiff as a scrub brush for your floor, which you can get in psyllium, so you got to find it. But look for those body brushes with that extra. With our brushing sequence, we always start on the upper body, starting at the hand, moving to the center. Do all of the upper body, including the torso, and then starting on the feet, and then moving up the legs, practicing our balance as we go. I really like to make sure toe forward, belly button, spine lift up, and I'm here and I brush. This allows me to go from knee all the way up the back of the thigh, all the way to that midsection of the booty. Once you put that leg down, especially if you're like me, you're that shorter leg version where we've really got a lot of rounded glute. When we start trying to come up the leg, you hit that bottom and you don't actually get where a lot of that cellulite accumulates nearly as well. That makes a big difference. Then, of course, you do your circles and then end with those long strokes. Now, the other little baby I have in my hand is a Gua Shua. That's how that's said. Margaret did a lovely video on using the Gua Shua on your face not that long ago. But did you know you could use this anywhere? It's a lot cheaper than a fascia blaster, and they've been around a lot longer than fascia blasters as well, and they work wonderfully. What you can do, set the brush down, mid-brushing sequence, use the Gua Shua. It will go in a little deeper on those trouble spots. Then you can end with those circles and those long brush strokes up. You always want to end with the brush, but the Gua Shua can really, really, really make a difference, similar to how a fascia blaster works. But I think this baby cost me $5. And my fascia blaster, which unfortunately broke when I moved because they don't pack well, was about $95. So I highly recommend. I'll put links for all of these different products in all of the description below so that you can start to find these. And I will also give you a link to the official cellulite removal brushing sequence that I did about 1.5 years, almost maybe 2 years ago now, for the T-Tapp Corporation back in the day, that has the full sequence in it. So that is some of the tips, tricks, and tools for winning that battle of the bumps on Healthy by Kiona Wellness Wednesday. What do you guys want to talk about next week? I always have lots of ideas. It seems like some of them get lost, but I'm always looking for more feedback from you guys on what you want. So make sure, comment below or contact me directly. Don't forget to like the video and share the video. In the meantime, I'm Kiona Leah. I want to see you move, live, and thrive. So I'll see you on the next one.